Hi everyone, welcome back to Yield Mint. This is Eric, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We got some new equipment. We're going to go ahead and punch some copper blanks as you're watching right now, and we got an annealing oven, which we'll also eventually use for a melting oven as well. But for today, we're focused on the annealing aspect of it, as even though when we started this process, annealing wasn't even something on our radar, it has become the problem we have to solve to be able to move on to whatever unknown problem is coming next. So right now we're going to go ahead and finish this last little bit of this copper sheet and get all of these punched. As you can see, as it gets down to the end, you only get a few and then you got to cut them off again, but it moves along pretty quick. And this next little part right here, we're going to go ahead and show you the annealing oven. This is a Vavor annealing oven. It's about the most cost-effective thing you can get. And it's not very big. It's 6 inches deep, or I'm sorry, 5 inches deep, 6 inches tall, 6 inches wide. And what we're doing here is putting in one of our heating bricks that we use because you don't want the blanks to sit directly on the insulation. And those slots you see in the side have coiled wire in them. It's electrically heated. It just plugs into a regular 110. And this will get all the way up to over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. What I'm doing here is putting in a stack of 10 copper blanks that we had just punched, and they have already been cleaned. They were ran through the tumbler with some soap. And then I'm laying out some single ones next to it on the brick. The idea is that we're going to put them in the annealer, let them run for 30 minutes at 750 degrees Fahrenheit or about 400 degrees Celsius and see how well they work. If the ones that stack anneal as well as the ones that are flat, is that enough time? Is it too much time? Is it not hot enough? All of these are things we're going to try to figure out. So this is finished. I've let this cool down overnight. As you can see, they are no longer bright and shiny, but in fact have oxidized while they were in here. And you can see based on this that they are very dark in color, and it looks like, for lack of a better term, if you held them over a candle and they had soot on them, but it doesn't really wipe off. We're going to go ahead and test one of them, and I tried to clean it up a little bit using some Neverdull, but it doesn't really take it off there, so that's a problem we have to solve as well. So we're going to go ahead and load this up and put it in here and strike one and see if we get a good strike. Now, this was not one of the ones from in the pile. This was one of the ones that was sitting next to it. As you can see, the oven is not very big. You see it there in the background. It's not even as big as a mini fridge, and it only weighs about 15 pounds. You can pick it up and carry it with one hand. It's got a little handle on top. So we're going to go ahead and strike this one with our trusty hammer, of which we are still looking for a name. So please go down in the comments below, list a name for the hammer. I'm looking for all suggestions because it needs a name. Just calling it a hammer seems a little bit disrespectful. And I'm trying to get things lined up there for us. You can't see it in the shop. There's actually a ladder hanging from my garage roof over my head, so I didn't want to catch that with the hammer. So let's see if we can get a good strike. We got a decent strike on there. Let's pop it out and take a look. And as you guys know, it takes a little bit of effort to get these things out of there as they get pressed down into the collar, which is what's in my hand right now. It actually spreads the coin out and makes it stick to the side. I'm going to go ahead and grab the hammer here that we use for dislodging these from the collar, if I could ever find it. There it is. And it's just a little deadhead mallet. I mostly like it because it's pretty quiet. And so we got a really nice strike on this, actually. It's tough to see here on this footage, but it came out pretty deep and pretty clean. So the problem we had was the oxidation. So what I did is actually soak these overnight in vinegar, and that removed a lot. And as you can see, some of these are already struck. As they sit out, I just let them sit out on a table after we'd struck them from some previous videos, and they had darkened up as well just because of moisture in the garage. So we sat them overnight, and then to finish them off, I loaded them in the tumbler also with the same vinegar. And it's just your standard vinegar. I let them run for half an hour in here, and they came out very, very nice. You won't see it in this video, but I didn't, when I rinsed them off, I didn't dry them well enough, and that caused them to have watermarks on them and oxidize a little bit. As you can kind of see on these ones, some of the discoloration is because I did not clean them well enough and dry them off and put them in a separate tube. So we're going to go ahead and strike a few, and then kind of take a look at what we've got here. Um, the process with the oven was pretty easy. The programming was a little rough and it's all in Celsius, but as you can see, they came out pretty nice. You still see the water marking on there, and I'll have to clean these ones up again. But overall, very, very shiny, good strikes. Even the bad strikes came out very nice. So thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and leave a comment below. We need a name for the hammer, and looking forward to answering and talking in the comments. Thank you much.